Alright, it's another quick update on Abeyance game development. Turns out I lied to you guys last episode, I guess. When I hit play and showed all the colors moving around and doing stuff, it turns out that the script wasn't actually working. It just looked like it was working. And so this is what it actually looks like working. As you can see, I've added some extra texturing and shaders to make it look a little bit more interesting. The idea was to try and make it look like it was drawn on one of those old-timey nautical charts. I'll pull up a picture of one. Oh, it stopped. Oh, okay. It looks like when I click off to another page, it stops doing stuff. Alrighty. So specifically, I was basing a lot of it off of this section. I haven't gotten to adding these lines and the compass rose, but I was trying to make kind of a drawn edge with a gradient of colors coming off of it to describe the borders of each of the empires. So you can see in this, it definitely is not as good as that one, but I have some stuff going, some fine tuning left to do. If I actually hide the troop movement, which is all these darker sections moving around, it will be maybe a little bit better. That kind of looks good. Obviously, this weird cellular pattern will have to go at some point. And I'll have to limit which colors can appear so that they don't interfere with the paper. Anyway, I don't technically know if what you're seeing here is actually working perfectly. I have some reasons to suspect that it isn't, but at this point, it's one of those good enough moments, and it's just time to move on. Let's go over this shader a little bit, at least the parameters of the shader. But while we're doing that, I will switch to a new seed so that we can watch the development of a different empire set. So some things that are different, starting with the controller. It actually have the empire's color controllable from the controller. Right now they are just, I think they're randomly set. It's kind of hard to distinguish, probably these two. I actually don't know why the fourth one isn't appearing, so that might be something to fix tomorrow. And these are like the wrong colors. I don't know what's going on actually. Let's see. I might have inverted the colors somewhere. I don't remember. This controls kind of like the griminess of the map. At some point, some future plans I'm having, as this these empires develop, I want to put in a system that will kind of record history. So it will keep track of, like, maybe every decade it'll keep track of what the largest island battle was, and that will be stored. And it'll keep track of when the opposite or another empire takes control of another one's capital. That would be an interesting thing. And you could make up all sorts of stories procedurally or with AI, kind of looking back and making some interesting history there for the world to kind of give it some extra flavor. I don't think it would be very difficult, but as I've discovered with this project, everything seems not difficult at first, but eventually it turns out to be a lot difficult. Something else I'm planning, though, is as everything progresses on, that lightening of the edges happens because occasionally there's two noise maps here that make up like the grimy surface, and they cycle from being a small to big noise as this thing expands, and right there I think their cycles just line up, which is what caused that weird effect. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. The history is being generated. Oh, so as these empires progress, it'll also like change the map itself, how sophisticated it looks. So at the beginning, it might have like ripped edges, be extra grungy, and then as these empires expand, maybe it cleans itself up and a border gets added around it. And then once these empires start clashing with each other, like they are right here, maybe you get some sort of like war-torn themed map. Which I think would be kind of just a neat touch. I don't want to get too fixated on this though, because it's only like world creation scene. Players are unlikely to be in this very often. I suppose they'll need to be in it for navigation, but that's future me's problem. One other thing. Every time these, this is definitely going to be complicated, but I think it'd be super cool. Every time the player chooses a new seed when they're creating their world, I've already shown you, I think, that there's this language generator I've made that will make random letters. Hey, look at that. All four of the empires finally appeared. Anyway, so the writing on the map will be randomized and will be one of those random generated letters and languages. And then also, something I got from watching and looking at all of these diagrams over here is that not everything is grid-like. See this one, you have your latitude and longitude lines, and then I think these somehow represent what the wind is doing. But I could be wrong. Anyway, what I was thinking is that every world would kind of annotate their maps differently from each other, because the player isn't really building the world, the player is picking the world, and every world might do things differently. And so you could have some easy differences, like instead of latitude and longitude, everything would be defined with triangles or hexagons. And these compasses might not have 4 directions, they might only have a random number of directions. And the writing that is in the key of the map might not be left to right, it might be up to down or right to left or anything like that. Something, though, that I am concerned about is a lot of these maps are like, they're just defined by the borders of where the water meets the land. However, in here, it might confuse players because these borders are territorial borders, but there's no land in this picture yet. And even if there was, it'd just be little dots, because these represent sections of the ocean and the islands that are on those oceans. So far, I haven't seen anything that would be a good substitute. Maybe in different island empires of our world, they might have come up with a solution to this problem I'm having. But I haven't seen such a thing yet. Maybe what I would do is, as the player hovers their mouse over, another square would be up in the corner, and it would be a map of the island that they're hovering over, and that island would be defined with land borders. And so it might look cool, might look interesting. Anyway, that's all the stuff that's in my brain for now. Thanks for watching, and that will be that. Hopefully next time, this will be a lot more refined when you see it.